Yo, 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 everybody. What is up? Welcome back to the What Now podcast. We're stoked to be back. Spencer and Zach are in our respective booths at our homes because we record online. But it's good to see you, Zach. It's good
to see you too, my friend. Good to see you too.
Good to be with you guys, those who are listening, whether you're in the gym, in the car, in your office, doing who knows what on the golf course. Welcome back to the What Now podcast, guys. We're very grateful that you guys listen to us. So what's up, Zach? How are you, dude?
Doing pretty good, man. Like I just mentioned, just recorded some progress videos, which major shout out if you're not doing video progress reports, definitely would recommend. But that is not the point of today's episode. How are you?
Dude, I'm good, man. I am making a career shift.
We are both making a career shift.
For those of you who don't know, Zach and I, after watching the PGA Championship this weekend, have decided to hang up our chiropractic hats and become professional golfers.
And we already got accepted to the PGA, so you'll see us at the Colonial this weekend.
Yeah, we're right there, dude. I just got to take off like 25 strokes, and I'll be there. 25 strokes would still put me at 80.
Yeah, I was doing the math. I was like,
I need to take off about like 50 strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be able to play. Yeah, no, obviously, I hope that I'm a better adjuster than I am a golfer. I know that I'm a better adjuster than I am.
Yeah, I can, at least speaking for myself, I know I'm definitely a better adjuster than golfer. For now.
Hey, you're a pretty good adjuster, dude. I'm grateful whenever you do adjust me.
Same. Could honestly use one right now.
Yep. Ajuste. It's the only Spanish I know. All right, guys. So today we're going to get into all things associates. If you guys haven't been keeping up, Empower Chiropractic, we just added to our team Dr. Haley Federer. We're super stoked to have her in the office. The biggest criteria of us hiring her is that she can peel crawfish because she's from New Orleans. But no, all jokes aside, she's been great. We're super stoked to have her part of the team. And today we're going to kind of talk back and forth about associates because I just hired my first one. Zach is going to be gearing up soon to bring on his first one. I keep giving him very not subtle nudges on it. And yeah, so we're going to talk all about those things. So what do you want to get into, Zach?
Yes, I think a big thing that would be fun for us to dive into would be, what does it look like 90 days from now for Dr. Federer, which no relation to Roger Federer, I'm assuming.
Dude, the Fed, that would be crazy. He's the no, that would be cool, but I don't think so.
No, that would be cool.
I don't know.
But all right, time to get serious.
Serious podcast.
Yes. So, what would it look like 90 days from now if there were 3 to 5 things that you're like, I really want Dr. Haley to know these things, more about the office, but more importantly, like you want her to be efficient, kind of excellent at doing from a training process.
Kate and I have been talking about this because like it's kind of you can have, I think that like at this stage in our career, you can have like a set schedule for training and it's going to go differently for every single person that goes in there, right? It's kind of like the golf swing. There's like very like set parts that need to happen. It's just like adjusting. There's like set things that need to happen, but it comes through differently based off of who you are, your background, how you learn, etc. So Kate and I have like been very much realizing that this is like a very dynamic process. What we don't want to do is like snub out Haley's personality to get her just to adhere to our procedures because like we're a very high connection office. And so having her feel genuinely connected to our systems, to our people, and to our culture is, at least for me, sitting in the visionary role, the most important. Kate is more so the integrator in our relationship, in our business relationship. She's much more the integrator. So she's like very focused on like tactically, are we getting her the skills that she's looking for? So if you were to ask us, it probably would be different answers. But one of my major thing in 90 days for our associate whether it's this first one or, the ones down the road, is that do they embody the culture? That's pretty much it. Do they carry the values with them? One, voluntarily. So is this something that they like believe and choose to uphold? And do they feel immersed in the culture? Like, do they feel like they're like a part of the office, like they've been there the whole time? That's what I actually have up on my screen right here is just a voice guide. So just to like break down, like this is how we speak based off of our values and all those things like from ChatGPT. So I've been like uploading a lot of like transcripts and recordings and asking it to like extract our tone of voice from it to
Nice.
be able to train people on like how we speak. So that's probably like our first thing.
And so what does that look like? Are you taking her through a day one and like having her do the consultation and like after the fact training her and coaching her on, hey, this is what you said and this is how we'd like it to be said sort of thing? Or
No, not necessarily, because I think that if you like lay a good foundation, she'll naturally say the right things. So instead of like saying like, "Hey, do this and I'll correct you,"
Mhm.
it's having her like the whole first week, she literally just stood there to watch and observe. Like she was basically just shadowing like for a full week. She would shadow us as the doctors. She would shadow the front desk to see like how they do things. And then at the end of each day, we would sit down and say, okay, do you have any questions? And what did you learn today? And so she knows that we're going to sit down and check in with her after each day. And so we just say, how are you feeling? And all those things. And she's like, yeah, after the first week, like it was a lot to take in. So I'm glad that it wasn't like, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, and do this. And like we have all kind of trainings and all kind of recordings and all of those things, but nothing like really like has it set in as like actually being in there. So she's watched a couple of our training videos and then she's really just kind of observed. And so then we asked her yesterday, because this is only her second week, what's different today than it was last week? And she's like, I kind of see like what you guys are doing and I understand the process that you guys are trying to take me through. Because now this week we have her like shadowing more. Like I had her shadow a day one yesterday. I'll give her all of our folders to look at and say, okay, based off of this, because we
Mm.
use AI to record our day ones. So I give her the AI transcripts. She reads the transcripts, and I say, based off of the visit and the scans. One, what would you tell this person? Two, what are they looking for? And then three, what is the scan saying, and how's the care plan going to be? And just getting her like initial impressions, and because that's helping me and Caitlin gauge where how big is the gap.
Right.
And so, yeah, so that's kind of like what we're looking for. So now we're just trying to get her to like, it goes down to like back to a lot of Steph's principles, like be, do, and have, right? And so a lot of people think that they need to have experience to do the right thing and then they'll become a good doctor. But really, you have to be in line with the culture and then you will do the right thing. And that's when you will have success. And so, like for us, like we're just trying to figure out like who does she need to become? What's the gap in
Mm.
her identity? And that's like been a lot of my stuff with like my coaching with Cody Jefferson is like in leadership, figuring out who do we have to mold this person into rather than what habits do we have to build? Because if we build the right person, then they'll build the
Mhm.
right habits on their own. They'll naturally choose the right thing. And so instead of just being like, do this, do this, do this, instead it's just like, this is how to be in this role, which it's like kind of the same thing, but very nuanced. Like
Right.
the difference is very subtle.
Well, there's a lot more freedom for her to like her natural personality to kind of express itself by
100%.
that being, and I think that's really cool.
Well, and that's the thing is that your systems should support like your processes should support your personnel, and your personnel when they execute the process, that's when they should really shine. Like you should have such good like locked in systems, and we should have our people like trained on our systems and our procedures enough where they become second nature, and that's really where their personalities then get to shine through. When people have these like personality based practices, what they end up having is they have no procedures and all personality. So when that one person leaves, all the systems leave with them. So instead, what we've done
Mhm.
is we've created like, okay, so like I'm the visionary, Caitlin's the integrator. And so I've said, this is what the overall, like, this is who I want our practice to be in the community. at the end of the day, when people look at our practice from above down and inside out, what do I want through every fiber of the practice to embody? And so I've set like the values, set the vision, set the tone, and all of those things. And then Kate's basically like, all right, for us to do that, we need to do this, and this. And then so Kate like will go come through and say like, all right, these are like the pieces, and then I'll basically make sure that like they're all the same color, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And like to where like
For sure.
the
For
picture
sure.
kind of looks together, but Kate's always saying like this is how they fit. And it's been a really good dynamic. And so Kate will go and walk through and be like, okay, this is how like we do this system, this is how we do this system, this is how we do this system. And I'll kind of like add my stuff like here and there. And then she really like is really good about making sure that people follow through. And from that, then like we make our procedures simple, and then from that, all of our like staff can kind of let them be themselves.
Yeah, which I think is huge and allows for a nice flowing team. With that, so really allow number one is culture fit, and more importantly, like her personality being embedded into y'all's not necessarily personality, but branding. And so with that, I'm sure some people might be surprised, like your first answer wasn't, well, I want to make sure she's a competent adjuster. And so the reason I mentioned that is like when like in the training, if you want to share, like when do you plan on her taking on like say a day one and working that all the way through where it's like not necessarily her own patient, because I'm sure you guys will share patients. But I think you know what I'm trying to say.
Where
Like
she's
we'll
the
sure have
lead.
ownership. Yeah.
Yeah, we call them like the case lead. So it's just
Mhm.
like whoever onboards this person throughout their care plan
Mhm.
is like their lead. Like it doesn't mean that like they're the one that's seeing them or whatever, but it's just like, okay, I'm gonna follow up on them. I'm
Mhm.
like typically they'll like whoever you start with, you'll finish your care plan with. So like that person who you started with will do your graduation. But that's also kind of changing to kind of like whoever has the most rapport. Because sometimes like I'll onboard somebody, especially like when it's like we just had these two like 7 and 5 year old girls start care, and like they're cool with me, but they love Caitlin.
Mhm.
So like if Caitlin's available, Caitlin will see them. And like that doesn't hurt my feelings. And so like after they finish their care plan, Caitlin will most likely do their graduation. But it just depends. Our goal is to basically have everybody know all of our people well enough that it doesn't matter who onboarded them. But to answer your question, like when is she going to start working like from day one to graduation and into wellness care? That's a Kate question. I would honestly say probably like month two. She'll probably
Mhm.
start doing that. That's what I would think.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like where like what we're aiming for is like month two, because basically the whole thing is like watch me do, and then we'll do together, and then I'll watch you. That's kind of like how we have it planned out, like in those 3 months. So in this first month, she's really just like observing, and then in the second month, we'll like do things together, and then the third month, we'll observe her, and then after the 90 days, she's got full reign.
Nice. Nice. So on top of that, what would you say are two other big things that when you look back in 90 days come July, like what are you hopeful and planning on her being sufficient at?
Yeah, well, I would just say like to give you like really like tactical things, not to get like too like philosophical like on it. Is does can she um dude, it's just philosophy, science, and art, really. Can she communicate chiropractic? That's the philosophy. Like, does she understand the principles and what it means to be a chiropractor? Philosophically, for both like the chiropractic profession of principled chiropractic and also what it means to be like an empower chiropractor. Science, like, does she understand how chiropractic affects the body, and does she apply that philosophy and science into her own lifestyle enough to where she can actually speak from expertise and experience to people? Like, can she give people genuine, effective recommendations? Science. And then art, like, can she deliver? Like, can you adjust well enough and check someone well enough to get good results? Like, so that's really pretty much it: philosophy, science, and art. And so, like, right now, you would say that we're really focusing on our philosophy, right? And then in the second month, we'll probably focus on like the science, like the nitty gritty. This is how we break down a
Mhm.
day one. This is how we talk about these things. This is what all this stuff means. And then in the third month, we'll probably refine like some adjusting stuff and then let it rip.
Nice. Super
So,
cool.
yeah, I mean, I just think that like simple is just better.
Mhm.
And like chiropractic is like a holistic approach to everything. And I think that like a lot of times we as chiropractors can get very dogmatic in the way that we bring people up in our profession, or really just in the way that we take care of people. Like, I mean, if you think that like somebody's blood work doesn't matter, and if they just get adjusted, like and they have crappy blood work, like you can't adjust the cholesterol out of someone's diet. Like, I genuinely don't believe that. Like, I understand all the whole like subconscious suggestion and all of that stuff. Yeah, you could change their mind, but until you change their mind, it's not going to change their habits. And, you know, you can adjust them all you want. Like, we had this one baby come in yesterday and she was like super sick and she had like gotten hand, foot, and mouth. And we were like, I can't adjust the hand, foot, and mouth out of her. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I want to, you know, but maybe that's my own limiting beliefs.
You can certainly increase her resiliency to it not happening again,
Well, exactly though.
shortening the recovery time, those sort of things.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the default answer that we're looking to build. Like, see, like you give me that answer off of reflex, and
Yeah.
that's what we're looking for in our associate doctor is saying like, hey, I believe that you guys need. And then like if the parents are saying like, hey, what about an antibiotic? It's having a solution to say like, well, maybe an antibiotic isn't the most natural way. What have you considered X, Y, and Z? And I'm glad that she is getting adjusted because all the stuff about the nervous system that you just said.
It's cool. Have you like has she heard a conversation and been like, "Oh, I don't know if I would have answered it that way," or that sort of thing?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. And like the thing is like we like take a lot of time to like really know a lot of our people. And that was the biggest thing that she had said. She's like, I don't know how you guys like keep up with everybody. And it's like it's because we've automated so many of our systems through AI and software, and we have the right team that supports that. That whenever I walk in for the adjusting shift, I'm fully present. Like I don't have to. There's no like doing up. There's no all of these like little bitty extra steps. Like we've eliminated as many of the extra steps as possible, because when you take the doctor's time to do something else, you take away time from them connecting with the patients or with your practice members or the people that you serve and your team. And so you're just like, how many times are we disconnecting from the experience? And the more times we can stay connected, then the more you get to know people. And that's where healing happens.
Yeah. That's one thing. I just had my 6-month review with my office manager, and she mentioned just how she's been in other doctors' offices and dentists and vets and things. And she's like, I've never really seen an office like know the people so well. And I was like, I would love to take credit for that, but because of the systems and the things that y'all are doing on the front and back end, like it just enables me and empowers me to, take that on. I think that's really, really important for any office.
Dude, chiropractic really is like such a special like profession, and this is one of the reasons like why I really was even just interested in it in the first place is because like when I went to my chiropractor, like everybody just enjoyed being there. And like that's the thing, dude, is like you work in an office that everybody's happy to be there, even if they're in super chronic pain. Like, yeah, like I mean, dude, we literally have the best profession that you could ever have. It's the most impactful by far. Like, we just had this one mom, her baby's 18 months old, has never slept through the night for 18 months. She sleeps in 30 to 45-minute increments. And then she wakes up and she cries for the last 18 months. And then her parents literally said, like, this was the first weekend that I've ever left my daughter with my grandma, with her grandparents, so her parents, because she's sleeping through the night now. And so, like, now we have the freedom to go on a vacation. Or like they're like, we skipped our 5-year wedding anniversary because the baby wasn't sleeping and we couldn't bring the baby anywhere, and now we get to do that. Like, dude, that's awesome. Like, you give people their lives back. And
I mean, it's interesting because I noticed, and it's one thing I'm excited with better systems and more efficiency when it comes to everything business wise, but like really returning back to being the chiropractor, just getting to like enjoy and experience those miracles. Because I feel like I don't know, 2 years in, it almost became like kind of expected to where it wasn't as like, that's incredible that that's happening. It was just like, yeah, that's just what we do.
Dude, I think that's why you need team, bro. Like, one, you need
Mhm.
team because, like, what I've learned about, like, training Haley and really Kate's training Haley more because it's given me more time to work on the systems is, like, I have more energy the more time I'm away from the adjusting table because, like, I'm able to step back because I'm really in the visionary role and work on these things. I think that's why it's, like, such an awesome thing to have team because, one, it makes you, like, really communicate your conviction, and if you lack conviction in anything that you do, it will come to surface because you're having to train someone to do the things that you're doing. And if you hate doing those things, it's going to come through in that training because you're going to
Mhm.
be training them. And if you really are checking in with yourself, you're going to be like, dang, I'm teaching them to like do the things that I hate the most. And so it like really makes you be like, well, at least for me, it was like, I'm paying this person's salary and like a really good salary. And like, I don't want them to hate their job. Like, I'm not trying to pay you to hate your job. And so it's like, well, it's on me as the business owner to find a solution to help you not hate your job.
Mhm.
And so then I get to work on the systems. And then whenever I implement something and she's like, wow, that's so cool, or like this makes everything so simple, then like that helps me feel good. That makes me feel good. And but it really lets you like figure out like where are you getting burnt out, where are you like putting out not awesome energy because your team is now looking to you to be accountable.
Mhm.
So anywhere that you're like out of alignment with your values and your mission and your own energy and your purpose, it'll come out whenever you try to teach people.
That's definitely the more team we brought on or the more staff. It's definitely something I've noticed depending like what season they have come in or like where I'm at. Like if I'm out of alignment, if I'm not doing the things required from a health standpoint, mental standpoint, their training is also impacted. And I'm sure that translates to work with patients as well.
Dude, I would say though that it's like because I brought on like a couple of different CAs, like office staff, and like that is true. It's a different level though when you bring on another chiropractor because like they've been in your shoes. Like they know what it's like to take part four boards. Like they
Mhm.
know what it's like to go through chiropractic school. Like they know like you just see so much more of yourself in them. Like with your office staff, like
Mm.
they want to support you. They want to help you. They believe in you. Like, dude, when you bring on another chiropractor, they're looking for mentorship. Like you just see so much of yourself in there. I think it's a different energy with an associate chiropractor. At least for me, like I feel way more accountability now that we have another associate chiropractor. I mean, I brought on Kate. Like Kate joined the office, but I mean, she's Kate. Like so, she's better than me. But
Yeah.
um,
Cool. Is there anything else like in maybe not 90 days, but 6 months to a year? Like if you look back this time next year, like what are you expecting and then excited for Dr. Haley to be doing?
I mean, the biggest thing is like I really just want her to be like just ingrained in the practice, like in all facets, because I really love to like tell people in our community about like what chiropractic care can do for them. I really love to help other business owners find their success. I mean, just bringing on like our functional medicine practitioner and just seeing his practice literally double in 2 months. And then same thing with our PT, like seeing her practice grow so much because of their proximity. Like chiropractic is literally growing other people's practice because of the way that we're communicating our message and the way that we're teaching people about like holistic care. It's really like changing people's lives on a from a business standpoint as well because like you're able to grow their practice as well. And so I really love to like help other people grow their business. I love to tell people about how chiropractic can help and whatever it can happen at the same time. That's really cool. So I really want to get back to that. And me, I love adjusting, but I can't do as much of that whenever I am adjusting people all day. And so in a year, I would love to just be able to like have a team that can just support our adjusting volume and it allows me to go and like chase more of impact like in the health and wellness
Mhm.
space for people in our local area. So that's pretty much like what I'm looking for in the year, dude, is I just want her to be a part of the day to day. That's
Nice.
really it. Like she doesn't have to like go and, create a course or anything like that or start a third practice or something like that. Like I'm not expecting that. I just want her to feel like a part of the team, feel like a contributing member to our community and for her to help people.
Nice. Nice. That's really cool. And then kind of secondary, what do you expect your life to look like? Are you still seeing patients 7, 8 shifts a week? That sort of thing.
Yeah, I think my goal is to like see people is like to be in the office like all day Tuesday. So like, which is our half day. So I do like our team training, our team check-ins, our doctor's meeting, and then I adjust Tuesday afternoons, and then all day Wednesday. That's probably like what my ideal week looks like, where then I'm CEO networking Monday, Thursday, and Friday. That's my goal. So I'd have 3 shifts a week.
Nice.
And yeah, that's probably my goal. Um, is to do that. I mean, I could still probably see 175, 180 people. But it's just different, dude. Like when you bring on an associate, dude, I was literally like, I low key like had a like moment of transparency. Like I low key like was kind of freaking out, like having a panic attack and like had a lot of like self-worth issues because I was like, dang, I brought on this associate and I thought that the practice would like explode and we were so slow yesterday. And I was like, Kate, how many people have we seen? She's like, we saw like 80. And I was like, well, I mean, that's like pretty on par, like for what we've been doing, like, so like we're like,
I think something we talk about quite a bit just in our learning experience, opening practices, like you like seeing more and more people just becomes easier and easier. Like
Mhm.
2 years ago, 80 people, I mean, probably wouldn't even happen. Like didn't have the systems, the capacity, the ability to see 80 people in a day, let alone for it to feel slow, right? Like it's crazy
Yeah.
how fast that changes.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking like with Cody about. For those of you who don't know, one of my new coaches is Cody Jefferson. You can check him out on the gram. I think it's just Cody
Really
Jefferson.
great, really great
But
content.
we were just talking about, yeah, just like capacity and like what like my capacity in this next season as a leader looks like. And
Mhm.
we're just talking about how just different it is. And it really is, dude. I remember like you and I talking about, hey, like this is like our first 50 visit day and how crazy that was, or like our first like 30 visit shift or something like that. And like that's like it just changes, dude. Like starting your practice, like just practice in general is just so sweet. We were talking about that like in the expanders group. Like there's nothing like the startup phase, there's nothing like the growth phase. That's kind of like where we're in right now is like the growth and scaling phase. We're not like in the whole like exit phase yet, but yeah, dude, especially that startup time, dude. It's so nice. Like it's really cool. But this phase is great too. It's coming with its own lessons and it's been really nice. So I'm super grateful. Yeah.
Nice.
But dude, I think that a lot of people, like if you're hesitant to bring on an associate, if you bring on the right person, it'll change your whole life. Like same thing bringing Kate on. She literally changed her coming into the practice, changed our lives. And then we feel like kind of very similar energy shift, like welling up and bringing Haley on as well. And so like if you guys are out there and you're worried about, I don't know if I can bring on an associate. I don't know if I can afford an associate. One, I'll tell you, you probably could if you're covering your overhead and a little bit then some, like if you're doing better than breaking even every single month, then you probably can afford an associate. It's just going to be really uncomfortable to do that, but it's an investment, not an expense. And dude, there are people that want to look up to you and there are people that want to follow you. And when you withhold yourself from making an impact on someone else's life, you move farther away from the purpose that God has put on you. And so when you don't hire an associate and you don't allow yourself to lead and teach people, you lessen your impact on the world. And so you need to hire an associate because you deserve it.
Probably
But we
true.
believe in you guys. So I just think like that's just been the shift that I've felt since we brought on Haley. And it's been a good experience.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I felt very added at that moment. Necessary.
Hey,
Necessary.
dude, listen. We're gonna bring on some associates. I'm gonna become a scratch golfer, and
Wow. You're gonna
yeah,
have multiple memberships at country clubs. Gonna be doing great.
no, I'm saying scratch golfer because I'm gonna hit my ball in the water where the mosquitoes live, and I'm gonna be really itchy all the time because I'm gonna be fishing the ball out of the water.
That
Scratch golfers.
yeah. Thankfully, there's no mosquitoes on the beach, so I'll be fine.
Hey, Zach's king of the beach.
Love me some bunkers.
Enter Sandman. I'm gonna start playing that every time we get to the approach shot.
Man,
Oh man! All right,
hey,
guys.
that's my brand identity right there.
That's right. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the What Now podcast. And if you guys ever see us out on the golf course, stand behind us.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.